In our previous lectures, we have understood single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. Now in this lecture, we will understand multiple inheritance, which is the third type of inheritance in C++. So without any further delay, let's get started with this lecture and let's see what are the topics. The first topic is Introduction to Multiple Inheritance. First, I will introduce you to multiple inheritance. Then, through an example, we will understand how to implement multiple inheritance. After this, we will understand the ambiguity problem associated with multiple inheritance, and we will also resolve this problem. So these are the topics of this lecture. Let's start with the first topic, Introduction to Multiple Inheritance. Now, what is multiple inheritance? In case of multiple inheritance, a class inherits from more than one base classes. Now this means a derived class can have more than one parents. This clearly means that in case of multiple inheritance, a derived class can have more than one base classes. Now to make these points more clear to you, let's consider the syntax of multiple inheritance. This is how the syntax looks like. Here we have these classes A and B. We also have this class C, which is inheriting from both these classes. This is what we can observe. So class C is derived from class A and class B. Here we can observe this derived class has more than one parents. Therefore, we have multiple inheritance here. Now we can visualize this with the help of this diagram as well. Here we can observe that class C is inheriting from both these classes A and B. Therefore, we have multiple inheritance because the derived class has more than one base classes. Now we have understood the basics of multiple inheritance. This means we are done with the first topic. Let's move to the second topic where with the help of an example, we will now understand how multiple inheritance can be implemented. Here is the example program. Here I have defined the class teacher with public member function teach that allows us to display teaching students. Then we have the class doctor with public member function treat that allows us to display treating patients. And finally, we have the class person, which is inheriting from both the classes teacher and doctor. Here we have multiple inheritance because the derived class is inheriting from more than one base classes. It has more than one parents. Now, in other words, we can say person is both the teacher and the doctor. Here we can also observe we have public inheritance for both these classes. This means these two public member functions will be treated as public in this class also. Now here inside this class we have this public member function introduce that allows us to display I am both a teacher and a doctor. So I hope this program is clear to you. Now one thing is completely clear that with the help of the object of the class person, we can call all these functions because these are public member functions. And this is my attempt to call these functions with the help of the object of this class inside the main function. Here we can observe I have defined the object of the class person, and through this object I am calling all these functions. Now we know when we execute this program, we will get the output teaching students, treating patients. I am both a teacher and a doctor. This is the expected output. So now, with the help of this program, it is completely clear how multiple inheritance can be implemented. With this, we are done with the second topic also. Now let's move to the third topic to understand the ambiguity problem which is associated with multiple inheritance. To properly understand the ambiguity problem, we will consider the same example program with some modifications. Here you can observe in these two classes, we now have the show function. And we know these functions are available to this class as well. Therefore, through the object of this class, we can call these functions. Now here you can observe inside the main function, I have defined the object P of class person, and through this object, I am calling the show function. Now my question is, which show function will be called? Here I'm just calling the show function, and we know we have the definitions of the show function in these two classes. The question arises that which show function will be called. Here we have the problem of ambiguity. We are unsure which show function will be called. And not only us, compiler is also unsure which show function to be called. Therefore, compiler will throw error in this case. Now, to resolve this ambiguity issue, we can use scope resolution operator. With the help of scope resolution operator, we can clearly specify which show function we want to call. And this is exactly what I am doing here. Here, after the object and the dot operator, I have specified the class name and then the scope resolution operator. After this, I have specified the function that I want to call. Here I am telling the compiler that I want to call the show function which is available in the class teacher. This means this show function will be called. And here I am telling the compiler that I want to call the show function which is available in the class doctor. So clearly this show function will be called. Now there is no ambiguity. There is no confusion at all. I am clearly specifying which show function should be called. Also here I am calling the introduce function. We can call this function directly without the need of scope resolution operator because there is no confusion in this case. There is no ambiguity. Now when we execute this program, we will get the expected output. I am a teacher. I am a doctor. I am both a teacher and a doctor. So with this, I hope it is completely clear to you what is ambiguity problem and how we can resolve ambiguity problem in case of multiple inheritance. We need to use the scope resolution operator. With this, we are done with the last topic as well, and this means we are done with this lecture. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture. I will see you in the next one.